Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Tasker, and today I will be talking about my global issue of global aquifer depletion. As we all know from the lessons this semester, Earth's freshwater resources are very limited. In this picture, it shows the separation between the total global water, the fresh water, and the surface water and other fresh water. We can see that there's only 2.5% fresh water, and that is broken up into 30% groundwater, 68% glaciers and ice caps, and only 1.3% is surface and fresh water. Seeing as groundwater is a large percentage of our global freshwater, it is important that we are able to manage and protect these aquifers to continue groundwater recharge and avoid aquifer depletion. What many do not realize is that our groundwater resources are being taken up into the surface water system, which then leads to the ocean. In this process, the water is mixed with the saline water in the ocean and is then lost to human use. The amount that we add to the rising of the sea level from pumped groundwater is close to being as big of a source as glacial ice melt in Greenland and Antarctica. Currently, there's a major issue across the globe that areas are withdrawing more water than is available to recharge. Areas such as the California Central Valley and the Tigris and Euphrates River Basin face a growing issue of decreased surface water storage. The picture on the left shows the growing severity of the lack of surface water storage in California between the years of 2011 and 2013. As you can see, it progressively grows to almost the size of half the state that is in stress because of this situation. Because of the unfortunate situation that these areas are in, they have no other choice than to begin tapping into groundwater resources. They need to use groundwater resources to have enough water to supply agricultural demand, human use, and industry located in these areas. This image shows aquifers located throughout the globe and the stress that they are currently under. It ranks them from 1 to 37, 1 being the most stressed, 37 being the least. We see that the areas of the Middle East, Western China, Northern Africa, and the US have areas of stressed aquifers. NASA's GRACE program, or Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment, launched in 2002, measures Earth's gravity field, deep ocean currents, runoff, groundwater storage, and glacial changes. This system uses 2 separate satellites that send microwaves and GPS signals between each to provide utmost accuracy. This system is able to track rise and fall of groundwater reserves, but it cannot accurately measure current storage of groundwater. The 3 most stressed aquifers in the globe are the Arabian Aquifer System, the Indus Basin, and the Mazark-Djougou Basin. The Arabian Aquifer System is an important water source for more than 60 million people. California's Central Valley Aquifer was not ranked among the highest stressed aquifers on Earth, but as we're seeing now, they're relying much more on groundwater use during this time of drought that they're in. One of the biggest problems we have with managing groundwater aquifers is that we don't actually know how much water we have in reserve. We are able to track recharge and withdrawal, but we are uncertain of the reserves. Estimates today are 10 to 1,000 times lower than estimates made 40 years ago. And it is so varying that one example of the overstressed Northwest Sahara Aquifer System fluctuated between 10 years and 21,000 years of lifetime expectancy. Several issues face aquifers with high amounts of withdrawal. These issues are salinization, reduction of aquifer size, and change in flow. The reduction in aquifer size is a problem because water is being pumped out at high rates and the aquifer is unable to recharge fast enough and is losing holding capacity because of the increase in compacted soil. The aquifer's holding capacity is irreversible and will continue to decrease as high water extraction continues. Another major detriment to the global groundwater basin is the large dependence on groundwater use for agriculture. There has been an enormous growth in agricultural production of grain within the past 30 years, this all because of intensified use of irrigation for cropland production. We see large agricultural activity in areas historically that have not had dependable water sources, all because of the availability of groundwater. An issue that these areas tend to have is that because of high withdrawal, there can be impacts to the aquifer such as salinization. Recent research has also found that in groundwater basins in areas of Peru, irrigation is a major factor contributing to the salinization of the aquifers. Groundwater can be a reliable source of water, but conservative actions must be taken to keep the quality and the quantity of the water in hand. Water allocation is what many people across the world resort to. Places such as Australia, New Zealand, Colorado, and California currently rely on reallocation of groundwater sources to various users such as residential and agriculture. One interesting technique that I found was that engineers from the state of Colorado have developed formulas to appropriately allocate water for agricultural use in order to support the issue of groundwater management. The groundwater allocation is somewhat controversial because you cannot track groundwater like you can surface water. It is definitely needed in areas that see high stress in their ground aquifers to have continued reliable sources of water.